This is like just I'll get right into it, I guess. This class is a little bit more of like a movement class than it is like your traditional yoga class. I know some of you were here last week, so we'll work through some flows that are kind of like yoga inspired. We'll give time for some shavasana and some stretching towards the end, but most of this is designed to be kind of just like free movement based. We're going to be working on some balancing postures and some things today that are kind of designed to make the balance a little tricky. So understanding that like wobbling will be part of it. We're going to be playing with different lever lengths, so changing like the joints that are involved in things like a standing lunge. And so just give yourself kind of that freedom on the way in to balance things, play with them. For those of you who've done this class before, we typically have 2 flows. We'll work through them 3 times. So one's a little bit slower. I'll cue us through it. The second time is a little bit more like breath to movement. And then the third time, I'll let you all move through it on your own. And you can kind of add your own little artistic twist to it as we move through. But we'll go ahead and get started because I know the hour goes super fast. So let's just find our way into a tabletop to get started. And I'll come back here so I can kind of move along with you all. So let your shoulders stack over the wrists, hips over top of the knees. And we're just going to get started working into the wrist. So feel the fingertips facing forward and kind of shift the weight around, inside, outside of the hand. Nice. And right away, kind of developing just a little bit of connection to your breath, noticing what you feel while we're here, and slowly starting to change that hand position. So I like to spin my fingers towards the center of the mat. You can turn them out, but really just kind of paw at the ground, wake up the hands, work into the different areas of the forearms. And then once that starts to feel good with the wrist, we'll just come into our cats and cows. So eventually letting the fingers face forward again, bringing the shoulders back over top of the wrist. We'll just move through the spine. So on the inhale, the belly drops, the chin lifts, we look up. And then as you exhale, we round it down, chin to the chest. Think spine moving between the shoulder blades, little tuck of the tailbone. Inhale, we move through, trying to segment the spine here. So if there's any areas of the spine that are challenging to move as you go through, give yourself that option. Seeing if we can kind of fill in the gap here. Awesome. Now, next time we come back through center, let yourself find that neutral tabletop again for a moment. So we've got the shoulders and wrist stacked. I'm going to take my right leg and extend it back and let the top of that foot find the floor. So here we're working on our hollow body position. We did the same thing last week, but I think it's great to warm up. So I'm arching in my back here right now. I want to correct that by drawing my ribs in. And I'm going to keep that as I just lift the right leg to the degree that I can without losing this shape here. So we're just activating into the glute, lifting the right leg, not so much arching the back. So we get a sense for like what that real true hip mobility is here. A little bit of inner thigh towards the ceiling here. We'll just hold for 3, 2, for 1. Really good. We'll switch it out. So your right knee comes down next to the left. Same thing on the other side. So extend that left leg out. Let the top of the foot find the floor. And you can really push the top of the foot into the floor, kind of round the spine in like that. And then just try to keep your shape as you lift and lower that left leg. Again, we're not worried about the height of that back leg at this moment, just kind of feeling what we're feeling. Nice. And again, you can do a little lift and hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice and easy. We'll set the left knee down next to the right. So now we'll revisit that, continuing to work into the spine. Extend your right leg back, but this time as you bring the leg up, let your spine arch. Notice how that gives you a little bit more range of motion. You could involve the head if you like. When you reset, kind of recommit to that shape here, hollow body position, and then we just arch the ribs back and forth like that with your breath. Nice. So we'll do another 3, 2, 1. Really good. Switching sides. So that right knee steps in, left leg extends, same thing. So use that leverage of the left foot, create your hollow position. And then we'll go from hollow to arch as we lift the foot up and over. Even just changing the legs, sensation can be a little different. So if that's the case, that's fine. Just working with what we got today. Nice. And again, we have another 3, 2, 1. Bring that left knee in so that it's next to the right. So from here, we're going to continue to work into the hips. Tabletop, extend your right leg out to the side. Bring the outer edge of your right foot down to the mat. From here, I'm going to take an inhale. And as I exhale, try to keep the outer edge of your right foot down. And we'll just find some gentle movements into this right hip. So for me right now, it's a little more circular. It could be more front to back, figure eights. Just try to find something that doesn't feel like pinching or pain. And notice how it feels to work into this inner hip a little bit. Good, Laura. Nice. Once we've had just a second to work into this right hip, keep the foot where it is. We're going to come back to neutral tabletop. And then we'll take the outer edge of this foot, the pinky side, let it roll away from the mat. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, rotate your toes towards the ceiling, and you'll feel that hip rotate in the socket a little bit. With control, or lower the right leg down. Inhale, the toes lift. Exhale, lower down. Good. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. From here, step that right foot back in so that it's next to the left. Same thing on the other side. So that left leg extends, outer edge of the foot comes down. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, just start to wake up that hip a little bit from the inside. Try to keep the outer edge of the left foot down if that's available. You can bend the knee, just kind of working into these different areas. Really nice. And still keeping a steady, continuous flow of breath as you move here. Nice. Now, when we're ready, again, that left foot stays. Just come back to neutral tabletop. Your shoulders and wrists are stacked. From here, the outer edge of that foot lifts away from the floor. And then on the inhale, we're rotating the toes towards the ceiling. You'll feel that hip again rotate in the socket a little bit. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Again, once we're complete, step that left foot in so that it's next to the right. And from here, we're tucking our toes under, pressing the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog of class. So in your first downward facing dog, I'm not super worried about the heels touching the floor. You can pedal out the feet, kind of rock the hips from side to side, but let your head, your neck, your shoulders, everything relax. And when we're in our downward facing dog, you want to think about the shoulders elevating, meaning they move towards the ears, as opposed to sinking into the joint like this. So we should always be elevated, so we're pushing the floor away. On a breath in, we'll find a gentle lift in the heels, a bend in the knees. And as you exhale, just slowly walk the feet forward in between your hands. Good. From here, we'll take a breath in to lengthen up halfway. And as you exhale, fold in. Just let the upper body relax over the knees here. So spine is lengthening, crown of the head towards the floor. It can be a big bend in the knees if you like. Maybe wrapping the arms around the legs or bringing the hands to the back of the head, a little sway here. Good. Now on your next inhale, we'll start to roll up the spine slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Think about one vertebrae stacking on top of the next. Chin is the last thing to come up. Awesome. Once we're here, taking a moment just to stand up tall at the top of the mat. We're going to work into some fascial stretches and shoulder mobility here just to kind of continue the warm up. So if you've taken the meridian class with Laura, you've probably done these before, but we're going to take our arms out to the sides, and my thumb is kind of rotating back towards the wall behind me. We're really getting this nice stretch through the inner arms. You can imagine the tips of the fingers. We're going to touch the walls on the opposite side of you. Now from here, take a breath in. And when you exhale, we're going to rotate just the thumb. So try to move the hands, then the elbows, then the shoulders. So we'll get into this kind of exaggerated internal rotation here. And we're just carrying that back out the other side. So shoulder blades move down the back, the elbows rotate up, and then the thumbs rotate back. Do your best here. It'll not feel super fluid at first because we don't normally move joints independently. We're just rotating wrist, forearm, upper arm, shoulder. And the shoulder will give you that little bit of like rounding here. And we take that away by pulling shoulder blades down the back and extending back out through the thumb. Amazing. The next time you complete a rotation and those fingers, or that palm rather, turns towards the ceiling, just let the arms relax. Take a second to shake it out. Warming up with a sun salutation, we'll take an inhale, both arms extend up and overhead. On the exhale, keep strengthening the legs, we'll fold forward. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Think about your chest reaching for the top of the mat. And then as you exhale, plant the palms, step the feet back. We'll stay in this plank position for a moment. So pushing the floor away, feeling the spine move between the shoulder blades. Staying here for a breath in. And then as you exhale, a little lower movement forward, slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Good. You hear the toes untucked, tops of the feet find the mat. And I'm going to take my hands to roughly 10 and 2 on a clock with the fingertips tented. Working into the spine with some oscillating cobra. So hips stay connected to the mat. As you inhale, roll up the spine as high as is comfortable. We don't want to feel pinching in the low back here. And then on the exhale, wave it back down. Good. We'll do a few more like that. Inhale, chin comes up last, hips pressed down. Exhale, we wave it down slowly. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. This time as we lower back down to the floor, let the hands make their way into the shoulders. We'll press up to find our plank position. And then on the exhale, step the feet back, finding your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Again, letting go of any tension in the head, the neck, the jaw. And now on your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg high. On your exhale, step the right foot forward in between your hands. Good. As we inhale here, bring the arms up. We're in a crescent lunge. The right leg is forward. I like to think about the back of my left knee moving towards the ceiling. So my back knee is not bent like this. I'm getting all this length here. I'll take a big breath in. And as you exhale, if you want to intensify this, you might lift that front heel. So right away, playing with changing our balance point. You can always keep the heel down for that stability. But feel your right hamstring turn on and still strong in the back left leg. Here for 1 deep breath in. As you exhale, everything stays the same. Just drive your right heel down and add the back bend in. So you'll feel that as you increase that connection to the floor, shoulder blades down the back, you have a little more space to lift the chest. Inhale, both arms re-extend back up and overhead. We're in our crescent lunge. And now on the exhale, start to lean forward. So we can stay in this lengthened lunge, or if we want to challenge the balance, we can move into warrior 3, balancing on the right leg. We're here for 1 deep breath in. On the exhale, rise up slowly, drawing your left knee in towards your chest. Good. So here we inhale, arms reach up. On your exhale, flex the left toes, drop your left heel down, so that's right in front of your right big toe. Now I'm going to bend my right knee as I lean forward. So my hands can land here on the quad. I can bring them all the way to the floor. Bend the right knee as much as you need to. We've got this nice stretch through the left hamstring. A little more active than what we normally do in a yoga class. So keep driving that heel down. Good. Now we're going to press down through our right heel. As we inhale, bring that left knee back up and into the chest. Good. From here, we're retracing our steps. On the exhale, lean forward, and with a relative amount of control, we're going to step our left foot back to the back of the mat. Nice, Laura. Inhale, both arms reach up high. Now on the exhale, we're going to set our back left knee down. So inhale, breath here. On the exhale, you might lift the heel on that right leg, or if you really want to challenge the balance, you could lift the right toes away from the mat, right? This is where it's going to get a little bit wobbly. Allow yourself to challenge. Toes can stay down here. One deep breath in. On your exhale, right foot returns to the mat. Hands frame the right foot, and we'll step our right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Good. Next inhale, left leg lifts high. Exhale to step your left foot in between the hands. Nice. Inhale, both arms lift high. We find our crescent lunge. You might stay here. You might hover that left heel. Notice as you hover the left heel, that left hamstring has to get a little more active. We stay for the breath in. As you exhale, left heel lowers. Carry that energy from the floor up as you add the back bend in here. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Inhale, both arms re-extend up and overhead. Ribs draw in. On the exhale, lean forward. It can be the extended lunge. It can be the warrior three. Little micro bend in the left knee helps with the warrior three. You could extend the leg if you like. We're here for the inhale. On the exhale, we rise up, right knee into the chest. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up high, sides get long. And now on the exhale, we're dropping our right heel down in front of our left big toe. Bend the knees if you like, or bend the left knee if you like. Hands could find the floor. If you have blocks, actually, that's a great option. Sorry, I didn't give you that on the way in. But we're driving that right heel to the floor, thinking about reaching our chest forward past the big toes on that right leg. Now left heel drives down on the inhale. Pull that right knee back up and into the chest. On the exhale, we start to lean forward. Micro bend returns to the left knee. And with control, right foot sets down at the back of the mat. Good. We stay for the inhale. Exhale, right knee slowly lowers to the floor. Toes can stay tucked or untucked. Maybe we hover the left heel. Maybe we start to lean back and really play with the balance. Again, have fun with it. One deep breath in. On the exhale, left toes return to the mat. Arms are up and overhead. One deep breath in, and then as you exhale, hands come down, framing the left foot. Extend that left foot back. And with control, we'll set the left foot down next to the right. Good. Working through once your breath of movement, we inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale to step your right foot forward. Good. Inhale, both arms extend up and overhead. We find our crescent lunge. Good. Staying here for the exhale. Next breath in, maybe you hover the right heel, legs stay stable. And then on the exhale, right heel drives down, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Inhale, both arms re-extend, back up and overhead. Exhale, we lean forward, either the extended lunge or your warrior three. Think about the chest reaching towards the top of the mat. One deep breath in here. Exhale, we rise up, left knee into the chest. Can be wobbly. Inhale, both arms extend high. On your exhale, flex the left toes. Let that left heel land just in front of the right big toe. And as you bend the knee, lean forward. Active stretch here, driving that left heel down. One deep breath in. Good. Breath out. On the inhale, right heel drives down. Left knee draws into the chest. And then exhale, we lean forward. Maybe you bend the right knee. The left toes are making their way to the back of the mat. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up high. As you exhale, just set that left knee down. Again, this is plenty here. We can start to shift the weight back. And just noticing how by changing the length of the levers, maybe changing the joints that are involved or not involved, we can challenge the balance here. One full breath in. Exhale, right toes come down. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up high. Exhale, hands frame the right foot. Extend that right leg up and back. You can shake out the leg if you like. Eventually, we meet in downward facing dog. Good. Next breath in, left leg reaches up. Exhale to step your left foot forward. Inhale, we lift the arms, find your crescent lunge. Staying for the exhale. Next breath in, you have the option, maybe you lift that left heel. And on the exhale, left heel drives into the mat. Carry that energy up the body as you add the back bend. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, we lean forward, extended lunge or warrior three. One full breath in. Exhale, we rise slowly, right knee into the chest. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up high. Exhale, right heel lands in front of the left big toe. We fold forward, bending into the left knee. Good. Left heel drives down. We inhale, right knee pulls into the chest. And then on the exhale, retrace your steps. Chest leads the movement. Let that left knee bend a little bit. And with control, the right toe set down, back of the mat. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up high. Exhale, with control, lower that right knee down. Staying here for the inhale. On the exhale, your variation to balance. So we can lift the left heel up. We can shift the weight back. Right? Again, have fun with it. Staying for a breath in. As you exhale, left toes, left heel return to the mat. Hands come down, and we extend that left leg up and back. Good. You took the natural movements on the first side. Give yourself a moment. When you're ready, setting that left foot down next to the right. Moving through once at your own pace, and then we'll move on from this. So starting with the inhale, lift the right leg, and then exhale, step the foot forward. I'm going to give you a second to play with this at your own rhythm. Kind of embracing the wobbles, any modifications, anything you want to add on. This is also an opportunity for me to catch my breath, so thank you. Nice. Once you complete your movement on both sides, we can meet in child's pose. Take a moment to let the breath slow down here. Really good. Strong balance, really nice. And again, once you work your way back into downward facing dog after both sides, take just a second in child's pose, breath slowing down a little bit here. From child's pose, let's take a slow rock forward back to our tabletop. And then with control, we'll just lower all the way down to the belly here. We're going to work a little bit of active back bending. So I'll demo this once first, and then we can work through. We're working on kind of utilizing the muscles of the upper back in our cobra pose actively here. So I'm going to start hands underneath the shoulders, tops of my feet are on the ground. Now, I'm going to hover the hands, and then I'm going to inhale to lift as high into my cobra as I can without using the leverage of the hands. Once I get to that point where I can't go any higher, then my hands are going to find the mat, and I'm going to come up. And then as I come down, I'm going to use the hands to that point where I feel like I can lower it with control. So I hover the hands, I rise up, I use the hands for support, right? And I use the hands for support to come down right up until that point where my upper back muscles can control this movement. So work through this a few times on your own. We'll come together, tops of the feet on the mat, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to lift up. Feel your shoulder blades move down the back. And then we'll use the hands to give us the rest of that movement. Glutes are active. Think second toes reaching back. And then exhale, we wave it down. Use the hands right up until you're not going to crash onto the floor. As always, still breathing, still working at your own pace. One more time. When you lower down this time, take your arms, let them relax by the side of the mat, and then just take your left cheek to the mat to relax from the breath slowing down. Take a moment here, let the chin come back through center. And then we'll take our hands, make fists with the hands. And we'll bring the hands roughly in line with our chest so the elbows are kind of rotating up towards the ceiling. Now my knuckles are on the mat. I'm going to keep them there. And as I inhale, I lift the legs, I lift the chest. Right? Once I can't go any higher, then try to lift the elbows and pull your knuckles away from the mat so that they hover just a little bit. Inner thighs are rotating up. We stay for a breath in. Now as you exhale, extend the arms out in front of you so the pinky fingers are reaching towards one another. You slide back so you don't see, just like this. Look for that little rotation in the shoulder. One deep breath in here. Exhale, we slowly lower down, right cheek to the mat. Arms relaxing by the sides again. Find your breath, let everything slow down. Again, we'll slowly bring our chin back through center. Take the hands, let them move underneath the shoulders. And this time we'll tuck the toes under, press up and back into our downward facing dog. Get the spine lengthen a little bit. Again, if you want to pedal out the feet, you've got that option. Moving into our second series of movement here. We'll take an inhale to lift the right leg up high. As you exhale, draw that right knee forward towards your right elbow. Good. From here, we'll pivot the back left toes down and extend that right leg out to the side. So the outer edge of that right foot is near the left side of my mat. Now, you can stay here. This can be a pretty intense IT band stretch, or if you like, stay strong in that right arm and lift the left arm up and overhead. So we want to stay really strong in that right arm, pushing the floor away. If you want to add on here, bring this left arm out so that it's hovering over your right foot. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you might draw that left knee in towards your left tricep. And then extend back. One full breath in here. Exhale, the left hand comes down. Let your right knee tap the right elbow. And then we step the right foot over and behind into our wild thing. So the inner edge of that left foot, we're trying to move towards the floor. Left arm is on the floor this time. One deep inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring your right foot back to the front right corner of the mat. Nice. On your inhale, both arms reach back up and overhead. Find your crescent lunge. And then exhale, both hands come down, framing the right foot. The right foot steps back. You can flow through a little chaturanga if you like. Moving in downward facing dog. When you're in. Yeah. Moving sides here. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee towards your left elbow. Yeah. Slowly let that right foot pivot down, and then extend the left foot over to the right side of the mat. We can stay here squaring the shoulders and maybe start to bring that right arm up and overhead. You'd like to progress it further, that right hand can reach over the left leg. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, start to draw that right knee in towards the right elbow. And then set it down. One full inhale here. Exhale, right hand comes down, left knee taps the left elbow. We step it over and behind for our wild thing. So left toes find the mat. We bridge the hips up. Think about lifting that left hip, especially towards the ceiling. One full inhale here. Exhale, that left foot is making a big step to the front left corner of the mat. Inhale, we lift the arms, crescent lunge. Exhale, the hands come down. Left foot steps back. Your flow, your transition. We meet in downward facing dog. Good. Once again, inhaling, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Left heel drops down. Extend that right foot out to the left side. Then maybe we inhale to lift the left arm up high. You can stay here. You can hover that left hand over to the side. Maybe add the knee tap. This is just an option. Staying for the breath in. On your exhale, left hand returns to the mat. Right knee taps the right elbow. And then step it over and behind for your wild thing. Like the wheel pose variation, you can add that in as well. Deep breath in. Exhale, right foot to the front right corner of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Right foot steps back. Chaturanga if you want it. Otherwise, right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg reaches up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Right heel drops down. Extend that left leg out to the side. Same option. You might tent the fingertips. You might bring that right arm up and overhead. And you could stay. You could bring the right arm over. One deep inhale. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. And then set it back down. We stay for the breath in. Exhale, right hand returns to the mat next to your left. Let the knee tap the elbow. And then we step it over and behind. You can take the wild thing. You can take the wheel pose, whatever variation feels good in your practice today. Deep breath in. Exhale, left foot steps to the front left corner of the mat. Let it be wobbly if that's the case. Inhale, we reach the arms high. Exhale, we bring the hands down. Meeting in downward facing dog when you are ready. Good. One more time on your own. And then we'll work through just some gentle standing postures before we start to slow things down. And again, when you move through this on your own, feel free to be creative with it. It doesn't have to be exactly what I walked us through the first time or the second time. You can add movements in. You can skip something that didn't feel good in your body. Take the stress out of it. Nice. Again, whenever you're ready or you feel balanced on both sides, we'll again meet in a child's pose. So take your time to find your way there. Nice. Yeah, it's a good time for a water break too. Cool. Take a second in child's pose, let everything recollect. Cool. Next breath in from our child's pose, let's take a rock forward back to tabletop. From here, we'll tuck our toes, lift the hips. We're back in that downward facing dog. Next breath in, we'll lift heels, bend knees. Exhale to step or hop. Let your feet move in between your hands. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll let both arms extend up and overhead. Drive down through your heels, look up. Exhale to bring the hands through heart center. Let the arms relax down. Nice. So we're going to work through two variations of traditional postures, both tree pose and standing bow, with slightly different variations to make it a little bit more active. So we'll start with the tree pose. And just standing up tall, I want to shift weight into my right leg. And then from here, I'm going to turn my left toes out. So we can decide how far away from the floor we want this left leg to be. It could be the inside of the right calf muscle. It could also be the inside of the thigh. So I like to think about my inner thigh rotating towards the wall behind me a little bit, and then let the hands find heart center so we've got the balance. Good. Now, we can stay here and work on this. If you like, bring the arms out to the side. So we're in this tree pose like this. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to try to bring that left knee up towards the left tricep without lowering the left arm to meet it. And then bring it back down. Again, breath and movement, we inhale. On the exhale, the left leg extends. You might extend the leg out and then bring it back. Again, what we're trying not to do is lift the leg and then bring the left arm down to meet it. So keep the height and work through the range that feels good, right? We could even just be here, working on the balance, no stress. One more time. And then on the exhale with control, just set the left leg down, shake it out in between sides. Nice. It's the same thing on the other side, setup wise at least. Weight is in the left foot. And then again, I'm turning my right toes out. So I get that little bit of rotation in the hip right away. From here, right foot might find the inside of the left calf. It might find the inside of the left thigh. So wherever's most comfortable balance-wise, we could stay right there. Hands at heart center. No need to add on anything, but if you'd like to, extend the arms out to the side. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, maybe you lift that right knee up and towards the right elbow. And then bring it back. Working through your pace, maybe you bring the right knee towards the right elbow and then extend the leg, active variation. And again, if you fall out of it, doesn't matter. Trying to have fun, trying to challenge the balance in these more traditional postures, adding something in. Tendency also, in addition to lowering the arm, is going to be to fall off to the left. And so we want to try to stay tall on that left side. One more time. And then on your exhale, set the right leg down. Good. I can only see Laura, but I'm assuming we're doing good. All right. From here, we're going to work into our standing bow variation. Again, to make this a little bit more active, we're going to change the leverage a little bit, and then we'll start to slow things down. So the weight for me is going to start on my right leg. Now, normally, when we do our standing bow, we'll bend the left knee and catch the foot from the inside so that my thumb is in line with the big toe like this. Today, I want to take my fingers and place them on my left heel. Okay? So fingers are on the left heel. I inhale to lift my right arm. Now, as I exhale, I'm kicking with my left leg to move into this variation. You'll notice you're not able to go as far as if I were to just use this and kind of use the leverage. So push kick with your left leg, use the hamstring, and move into your variation of dancer. Really good. Staying for a breath in. As you exhale, rise up slow, draw that left knee in next to the right, and then set everything down. Cool. We got one more side to work on here, so shift the weight into the left foot, and then we bend that right knee. Place the fingers on the right hand onto the right heel, and then we inhale to lift the left arm up. On the exhale, start to lean forward. You'll feel a lot more activity in that right hamstring, right, than if you catch the foot and lean into this. Still thinking right heel, right inner thigh towards the ceiling. We stay for the breath in. On the exhale, rising up, right knee next to the left. Set it down. Cool. Working our way back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up high. Exhale, we hinge at the hips to fold forward. Inhale to lengthen halfway, chest reaching towards the top of the mat. Exhale, plant your palms, step the feet back. Last option, add the chaturanga in if you would like. Working our way back to downward facing dog. Once we arrive in our down dog, let the knees find the mat when we return to our tabletop position. So last little bit of active stretching here. I'll demo it first and then we'll walk through. So when we did our standing lunge variation and drop the back knee, we were kind of working on changing the position of leverage based on what joints were involved. So from here, very much the same thing. We're going to come back to that neutral tabletop, and then I'm going to extend my right leg out, just like we did at the beginning, and then lift my outer edge of the right foot towards the ceiling. And I'll find at a certain point I can't go any higher. But if I bend the knee, I can then lift the outer edge of my knee a little bit higher because the lever is shorter. I'll take a breath in here, and then as I exhale, I'm going to try to keep that height and extend the right foot away from me, and then we'll bring it back. Cool? So we'll do one on each side before we slow it down. Extend that right foot out, outer edge of the foot is down. Now, press with the arms, find that hollow position, and on an inhale, lift the outer edge of your right foot towards the ceiling. Good. Once we can't go any higher, bend the right knee, and then lift that leg up a little bit. One deep breath in. On the exhale, extend your right leg out and away from you. We'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale. Set it down. Nice. I know that's tough, so that's good work. Slide over so I don't kick the bed. Left leg extends. Outer edge of the foot's down. Good. Strong arms on an inhale. Left leg lifts. Outer edge of the foot towards the ceiling. Once we can't go any higher, bend the knee, shorten the lever, and then lift that knee a little bit higher. Good. One full breath in as you exhale. Extend the left leg. Holding for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice. Exhale. We set it down. From our tabletop, we'll walk the knees through. Finding a cross-legged seat. Rotate my camera down. Nice. So this is where we get into the feel-good portion. Done a lot of work. Right leg is going to be outside of the left to start. And take just a second to sit up tall. Notice all that movement, how it's impacting the body, where you feel sensation in the hips, maybe it's the low back. Now as you inhale, let both arms just sweep up and overhead. Sides get long, fingertips towards the ceiling. On your exhale, the right hand, maybe the right elbow will drop down to the floor, and we reach the left arm up and over. Now, what tends to happen when we bring this left arm up and over is this left hip lifts, kind of like I'm doing here. We want to think about that left hip moving towards the floor. One full breath in here. On your exhale, let that left arm sweep forward and around. We kind of create a little length in the low back and the hips, and then the left hand comes down, and my right arm sweeps up and over. And just move with your breath. Find a little sway here from side to side. We've created a lot of space in the side body and the hips throughout practice today, so just explore that a little bit. It can be slow, it can be fast, but not too fast. And just notice what you feel. If there's any areas of tension, again, working around it, not pushing through anything. When this feels balanced for you, moving from side to side, we're just going to come back through center with both arms extending up and overhead. One deep breath in here. On your exhale, take the left hand outside of your right knee. Let the right hand move behind you to support, and we're twisting open to the right. Use a little leverage on that left arm if you like. We're trying to keep the spine tall. Left hand's going to stay where it is. As you inhale, start to bring that right arm all the way up and over. Right hand's going to make its way over to the left knee. As you do that, drop the chin in towards the chest and round into your upper back. Shoulder blades fall wide. You can kind of lift and lower a shoulder if that feels good. On your next inhale, we'll slowly start to lift the chin. Allow your arms to uncross. And then we're just changing across the leg. So let that left leg move outside of the right. A moment here just to sit up tall. Feel for both your sits bones connected to the mat, right and left side. Crown of the head is up. Take one round of collective breath here. Deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth exhale, let that go. Next breath in takes both arms up and overhead, lengthen through the sides, look up. As you exhale, the left hand, maybe the left elbow drop down, and we reach that right arm up and over. Continuing to anchor that right hip towards the floor so that this is happening through the side of the body. One full breath in. Exhale, we'll circle this right arm forward and around. Imagine it was really heavy, kind of pull it and move forward. Right hand will make its way to the floor so the left arm can sweep up and over. And a couple times like that, move with your breath, move with your pace. Right? You find a side you like to linger on. If you like to kind of change the pattern, feel free. You can kind of linger down the center, use the arms. Again, when we're balanced, moving from side to side. Slowly make your way back through center, both arms extending up and overhead. We'll take one full breath in. Exhale, we add the twist. Right hand to the left knee. The left hand supports. And we look over the left shoulder. Still staying tall in the spine, looking at the left corner of both eyes. Right hand stays on your inhale. Let that left arm start to make its way up and overhead. Think fingertips brushing the ceiling. As we take that left hand over to the right knee, we drop the chin into the chest. And then again, let the upper back widen. You drop the chin in a little bit. And we'll slowly begin to lift the chin, allowing the arms to uncross. Nice. From here, slowly bring the feet to the mat in front of you with a little bend in the knees. And then grabbing hold of the shins, just slowly lower down onto your back. Now, when you arrive on your back, if there are any natural movements that you would like to explore, some additional twists, additional postures, please feel free to do that. If at any point you can move into stillness, move into a shavasana with the feet extended to the corner edges of the mat, maybe soles of the feet together. Whatever it is, let yourself complete your practice in a way that feels good. The head can relax down gently into the mat. Take one more moment here just to observe your breath, any sensations in the body. As you feel ready, releasing the control that you might still be holding over the breath. And the body rests heavy on the mat. Enjoying a few minutes here for you. Slowly start to bring attention back to your breath. When you are ready, starting to reintroduce some gentle movement to the physical body. On a breath in, let both of your arms extend up and overhead, lengthening through the sides, pointing out through the toes. Whenever you're ready, just slowly making your way over onto one side of the body. There's no rush when you're ready. Use that top arm to press up and find a comfortable seat. Nice. Thank you all so much for starting your Sunday with a little bit of movement. I don't sign these off the way I do a typical yoga class because, like I said, I think of these more as like a movement session. So I really do hope that these were challenging variations for you, gave you an opportunity to work on some stability, some strength, everything like that. This is Hobbs for those of you; he's very active. But yeah, we're doing these every Sunday. So please feel free to give me any feedback, any questions you might have. We do record these videos, so I'll upload them later on and email you a copy if you'd like to explore some of the flow